All right, let's go ahead and get started. Now that I've learned that Amazon is weird, and when you actually try to do a watch party, the entirety of all reality tries to burn to the ground in a desperate attempt to kill me and everything I love. So now that that's not going to be something that I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Mecharandom. We're going to talk about Mecharandom. And it's not just about the tweet she made about how she doesn't care about kids and therefore doesn't care about school shootings. No, we're going to talk about something much more important. Star Wars, apparently. But before we get into that, fan art, because we need a little dose of sanity before we go into the insanity. This one is from Memory Martin. Well, really, it's from Kreiser the 7th. They said they made this, but asked Memory Martin to post it because he's not in the Discord. So I said, at 500,000 subs, I'll just stop caring and become like a crypto bro and start destroying the environment. So welcome to the pits of Bitcoin hell, because that's a thing, apparently. The next one we have is from Lilith, and it is a slime Suris on one of those terrible coins with the enlarged, elongated hammer. The final one we have is from Not a Wolfman. Said, hey, I love your content, and I wanted to make some fan art. Now, I may not have artistic vision or talent, but I know what I'm good at, and it's shit posting. So behold, extremely low effort Suris. It even ended up being creepy. Jesus Christ. Not coins, but equally as cursed. Oh yeah, it's very cursed. But it is here and awful. As always, everybody, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. And with that said, I have not touched Mecharandom's content in a long time, and there's a reason for that. It makes me cringe. But don't worry, we're going to play here at 1.5 times speed, and we're going to see what she has to say about the new Obi-Wan show, which, spoilers, if you haven't seen it, I haven't seen it. She might spoil some shit for me, but we'll see.
The following video is brought to you through the generous support of viewers like you. If you like this content, then please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. And for those who are in the position to donate, this channel thanks you. And so does this orange cat.
That was a weird voice for that. That's not Mecharandom's voice. But also, no, subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Please consider becoming a patron if you haven't. I do behind-the-scenes stuff, talking about stuff going on with the channel, talking about stuff on Suris, talking about Sunset City stuff. All of that, like, background info all gets put in there. And also, you can go to ddlcplayground.com, use coupon code Suris. There you go. That's all you get. That's all my plug. Let's go.
Oh, of course they're using her as a human diversity shield.
A human diversity shield? Wait, what's the tweet? Hold on.
It's orange cat.
Lucasfilm warned Obi-Wan star Moses Ingram about racist Star Wars hate. It will likely happen. How is that using her as a diversity human shield? That doesn't make any sense. Also, I guess I need to increase volume here. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, of course they're using her as a human diversity shield. I am Mecha and Lucasfilm warned. What else do I have to say before I read the title? Oh yeah, subscribe to the channel, pretty please. I really appreciate it. That one. When I get like the anxiety attacks and stuff, I get a little bratty. Please tell me that that's what's happening when I'm doing it. I don't mind actually, and I'm trying to overcome them and quickly. Oh, shut up, me. Why do I need to talk about me? I don't need to talk about me, but please subscribe to the channel. We're going to talk about this garbage with Lucasfilm right here. So they're basically telling this poor actress that they're going to use her as a diversity shield. They're like, oh yeah, you're going to get some hate. Well, at least I guess they warned her that they're going to send bots after her butt to attack her and call her all kinds of names, huh?
Wait, how is this a diversity shield? How is telling a black actor that, hey, some Star Wars fans are racist, they're probably going to get mad at you? How is that a diversity shield? What the fuck does that even mean?
Because that's always what happens too. See, it's not her that I have an issue with on this Obi-Wan show. What I have an issue with on the Obi-Wan show, let's go into some of the leaks and some of the rumors and some of the stuff. So allegedly, this character here is going to be supposedly hunting down Luke Skywalker. Obi-Wan is a failed hero, and she only changes her mind because she has a change of heart. And and for not her, we would not have Luke Skywalker in the future.
Yep.
And that's supposed to be the rumor. Spoiler. Obi-Wan's by the Lucasfilm admission, with all of these new articles that have been dropping recently. With Lucasfilm's admission, we have Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan being this Logan character, this Joker character. That's not
what. I mean, I read the Kenobi book, and I mean, he was just Obi-Wan, just being Obi-Wan. Said, "What's a diversity shield? Could you please define it?" Yeah, no idea. I don't know what the fuck is even going on right now.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's a crappy space monk. He's the guy who's this wise old father figure who's super powerful in ways that you don't understand right away when you're a kid watching it. And Rob, tell you can articulate as well as I can on this one, and I know you got a lot to say on this one too. Obi-Wan is not a broken hero.
No.
Yes, he is. What? Wait, what? Are you telling me that the dude who had to find out that the child that he raised for almost all of its entire life, not counting the 9 years that Anakin was a less cringy space warrior, that raising that child and then having everything your life had ever been built upon be ripped away from you, the entirety of the government that you served falling to fascism, and then your son, your brother, Anakin Skywalker, turning and becoming Darth Vader, slaughtering children. You don't think that breaks a person? You don't think that creates a broken hero? There's a shit ton of story that happens between episode 3 and episode 4 in Star Wars. And in that time, it is very likely that Obi-Wan was broken, came to terms with what happened, and matured and became a stronger individual. And that's where we get episode 4's Obi-Wan. But the idea that is not a broken hero, bitch, there are 30 years of story. There's plenty of time for that here. But okay.
Like, how horrible is this going to be to have Obi-Wan be the broken hero and to blame racism when we complain about the show?
What? No, wait. What? No, hold on. If Lucasfilm warns Moses Ingram about racist Star Wars hate, they're talking about an individual person. They're telling an individual person, you might experience racism because of this. That's what they're saying. Nobody's hiding behind the fact that there are racist Star Wars fans. What? It's pretty legit to tell her that she might be a target of hate. Yeah. What the fuck, Mecha? What the fuck are you even talking about?
And you know who's going to be taking the race bait? It's like there's a lot of I always see videos and crap in my feed show up where they're like, well, why the racism and this and the race and that? And I've taken plenty of race bait ones myself. I'm trying to be better about that. But
no, you're not. You made this video. Shut the fuck up.
It only feeds into this stuff because then they can just take the title of the video and they can go and turn it out there and be like, see, they're racists and they're misogynists.
Obi-Wan's not a broken hero. He's
Here, take the hot seat.
if you're
You yell that. I got
there's a difference between suffering a defeat and being a broken hero.
Yes. And here's the thing. You can have a story where he is a broken hero in between the times where he is much more stable. The time where he has hope for the galaxy because of Luke, and the time where he has hope for the galaxy because of Anakin. There are several decades in between those two sections of Obi-Wan's life where he has the ability to be broken.
I mean, Obi-Wan's not broken. He's had, like I said, Jedi have essentially been defeated. But this whole thing about, like I said, they're preemptively now giving themselves an excuse as to why this series is going to fail.
How? What? How is this a preemptive excuse that the series is going to fail? How does that make any sense? What? Get that Space Ghost Coast to Coast shirt off. That show actually has quality, unlike any of the garbage coming out of your mouth.
If the series is going to fail, which I think it is. He feels failed, fair enough, but he isn't broken. That's, yeah, you're right. He feels he's failed. He feels, yeah, like anybody else. If you win, you lose.
You win, you lose. Yeah, sometimes you win the battle against the Emperor, and sometimes you lose everything you've ever loved, and you basically get to live through Job as Obi-Wan.
Like I said, they're preemptively giving themselves the cover so that they can start pointing the fingers if this series doesn't go the way they want.
How is that what's happening here? They literally told a single person you might experience racism because some of our fans are shitbags. How is... That's like me saying some of... you might experience the horny because some of my fans are horny bastards. That's just a statement of fact. What the fuck?
Oh, it's the misogynists, it's the ists, it's the phobes, it's the you-know-whats. You know, so like I said, and Kathleen Kennedy, she cannot have a man be the hero. She can never have a man be the hero.
Let's talk about the rumors with Kathleen Kennedy and all that crap, too.
Well, okay, do you want to make it the hot seat?
Yeah, it's okay, yeah. There. Oh, thank you.
I like how this was supposed to be a Mecharandom video and that was just randomly this other fucking person. I get the small concession that some cynical writers do use tokenism to cover up for criticism of their bad writing. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Ken Penders does exist. Silver J, thank you for resubscribing, by the way.
It's not woken enough. Obi is male. It has to be broken and emasculated. That's getting so old. That is just getting like so tired. It's the same old. It's like zombie tropes. It's like zombie movies over and over again. What's Zaslav doing at Warner? Have you heard about that? He's cutting the fat over there.
He's cutting the fat. It's like it's not making money. It's he's not greenlighting it. Yeah.
This is like the equivalent of tracing somebody else's art to do comics. That's what.
Is it though? Like, literally, Hero had bad thing happen. Hero is broken. Hero has to fix himself. It's just storytelling. That's literally just storytelling. There's nothing wrong with that. Tropes are fine. Tropes exist. All you have to do is tell an interesting story within the confines of that trope. What's the old adage that we've only got like 7 stories we've been repeating over and over and over again? God fucking damn it.
What they're doing. They're just tracing other people's work. If they're making Logan and freaking Joker and all that, like we've already got those. We already have those. Show me.
Wait, are you saying Joker is a story about a broken hero? Don't fucking lie to me. There is no version. Oh, there's one. There's one version. And it's not in film. There's only one version of the Joker where he's the good guy and then becomes broken, and that's Jack Napier. Jack Napier's Joker is, like, that is a good character who turns to being screwed up because of his mental condition. But that's not all versions of the Joker, and it's most certainly not the version of the Joker we see in Walking Phoenix's movie. But okay. That's not a broken hero. Because if it's a broken hero, the story is usually how he unbreaks, how he gets out of that funk. Walking Phoenix never gets out of the funk.
Obi-Wan's romance with what's her name off camera, where didn't he supposed to have some woman or somewhere? Why not just do a Luke Skywalker Mara Jade fucking story on the side? Like seriously, show me something I haven't seen with these characters. If we're gonna go that off the rail with them, but is it keeping canon or something? Or keeping
Wait, show me something you haven't seen with these characters. But you literally just said for us to see the Skywalker Mara Jade story. The Skywalker Mara Jade story. Most like really hardcore Star Wars fans have already seen that story. It was called the books that are no longer canonized. That's a story that exists that you can go read. Especially the old Star Wars comic stories about Palpatine trying to touch Leia's son and daughter so that he could imbibe his essence within them. God, it sounds real creepy when I say it that way. But, like, that's already a thing. That's already a thing. Personally, I wanted this this series to tell the story of Obi-Wan that we saw in the Obi-Wan book. But the Obi-Wan book is literally just one story that takes place in a handful of weeks when Obi-Wan comes down to Tatooine. There's a shit ton of other adventures that can happen there, and I get that this is telling those other stories. Said Palpatine what? He did what? Yeah, no, there's a whole, like, decanonized Star Wars story where Palpatine was desperately trying to find Leia and Han Solo's children so that he could transfer his essence into them so that he could live forever through those children. And it sounds gross, but like that's actually an old Sith ritual for immortality that Darth Bane tried to use. Darth Ondedu had used before. That like there's okay, so within the Sith theology, there are 2 ways to become immortal. Well, 3 ways, really. One of them is to leave behind a very, 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 very violent Force ghost. Another one is to use essence transfer. And the last one is to sacrifice a planet. The sacrificing a planet one is not like destroying it with the Death Star. You literally suck all living essence out of an area in the solar system. And then it just doesn't exist anymore. If you step onto that planet, like sound doesn't travel. You can't feel anything. That's a thing that happened in the book that led to the Star Wars MMO. The essence transfer thing is a thing that you learn about in the Darth Bane trilogy, and it's a thing that Palpatine tried to use to protect himself. The Force Ghost thing is a thing that you can do as well, where like if your body dies, you can rip a Force Ghost out of your body and keep it around. But unlike the essence transfer and the sacrificing a planet methods, you're very limited in what you can do. You rely on like influencing people through Sith artifacts and shit. It happens in SWTOR as well, actually. Okay, I haven't played SWTOR. I've just read the books around it. But, you know, there's a lot of ways that a Sith can live forever in Star Wars. Those are the 3 main ones that I know of that you're able to do, that are able to do that. Now, the reason I say that is that's a story we've already had. Yelling, why don't we have anything new? But this is that. It's taking old characters and doing something new with them. There is not a variant of Obi-Wan that is broken, severely broken, across the Star Wars mythos that we've seen. But there's also several years between episode 3 and 4 that we didn't get to see that are part of Star Wars mythos regardless. There's nothing wrong with breaking your hero in that.
In the fanfic, in the expanded universe.
I wouldn't mind seeing Luke Skywalker.
No, the Legends universe. Huh?
I wouldn't mind seeing Luke Skywalker, Mary Jade, Hooten's stories, how they got together. You know, they have a kid and going against the Jedi Order, having a kid together. You know.
Yeah.
That supposedly happened during the EU.
Well, yeah, and
supposedly, no, that did happen in the extended universe. I believe that was the Heir to the Empire series, wasn't it? But anyways.
But all the EU stuff got scrapped and changed and rearranged.
Because they didn't want pain them.
Which is such BS. Well, that's what they're doing.
It's not BS. It was literally the fact that we had multiple contradicting stories that were all being... As a fan of the extended universe of Star Wars, I fucking love the extended universe of Star Wars. But the extended universe of Star Wars had some weird shit, like Mace Windu, the black member of the Jedi Council, not actually being human and being part of a race of individuals from a jungle planet where they all called each other Doshalo, which translates into brother. And they are all known for fighting using spears. Like, that's an extended universe thing. There's some weird extended universe shit, like the story of the Jedi, the proto-Jedi that used actual katana to fight while still being in spaceships. It's really weird. There's a lot of really weird shit in Star Wars Extended Universe, and not all of it overlaps very well. For instance, not a lot of books can agree on the actual price of a credit, like what that means in the galaxy. They know that the standard money in the galaxy is credits, but none of the books can agree on what the fuck a credit is, how much it actually stands for in worth. Not to mention, multiple books can't determine when the Hydian Way actually gets established. There are certain books that are like, we can't go to that part of the galaxy because it's too dangerous. And then other books that happen like 10 years prior are like, yeah, we can go to that part of the galaxy easy. We just use the Hydian Way. That's the way that the Hydian Way is actually how like hyperspace travel works in the Star Wars universe. The Hydian Way is discovered, and it's like the safe route between all known systems. Whenever you go to I believe like Yavin? I believe Yavin is one of the planets that's like one of the origin sites for the Jedi. And it's not on the Hydian Way. It's like really, really in, like further in the galaxy. And it's why it's so dangerous to go to places like Yavin. The books cannot agree on when the fuck the Hydian Way actually gets established. Which means there's a lot of stories that don't end up working because characters can't get from place to place as easily because the books are really non-specific about when and where they can actually do hyperspace travel. And it's supposed to be that like hyperspace travel is easier in the regular Star Wars universe but harder in like the prequels because they have to use rings because not all the small ships are fixated with hyperdrives because the technology for hyperdrives at that point is more in its infancy. And then in books that take place 300,000 years before, the Battle of Hoth, somehow magically they actually do have hyperdrives fixated on like ships that are as small as the X-Wing. It's really weird. Star Wars extended canon is really weird and really inconsistent. Nixing all of it for the purpose of creating one unified thing where like characters are still canon, like Darth Revan is still canon to the whole story of the Star Wars universe because his kyber crystal is actually inside Kylo Ren's lightsaber because Kylo Ren is an edgelord like that, so we had to have his Shadow the Hedgehog fan figure inside his lightsaber. Darth Bane existing within the canon of the universe, but the events of the Bane trilogy not necessarily being as canon as they originally were. Like, all of that is a product of the EU being as sloppy as it was, and them going, okay, let's take some stuff and throw away some stuff. I don't have a problem with them nixing a lot of the EU and trying to make a more clean, centralized story. Especially because a lot of the EU stuff took place chronologically where they wanted to have stories written. Things like Palpatine trying to no-no square touch Leia and Han Solo's babies. That's an EU thing that they wanted to have a different story around. Now, granted, the story they ended up going with is equally shit. But yeah, like they wanted to use Thrawn, so they had to reuse Thrawn. Thank you, Ezra, for reminding me Thrawn was a thing. But like the Thrawn that exists in the extended universe is not the same Thrawn that exists in Star Wars Rebels and the Thrawn trilogy that exists in book form right now. Like it's the same character, but almost feels like he's from a different timeline. There's nothing wrong with that, though. You can say that, oh, the original one is better. That's fair, but that's not the conversation. The conversation is it okay to decanonize that shit so that we can write stories in those eras that aren't constrained by those events that were made by 16, 17, 18, 20 different scattered authors with completely different iterations on a Star Wars series Bible. But okay, I this feels like Star Wars fan hates new shit and hates old shit being changed, and it makes them mad. Mecharandom, I implore you to please go be a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, where that kind of incessant bickering about dumb shit is more the norm.
With Stranger Worlds, which we'll get into in a minute here, because they're just plagiarizing the crap out of that. They say they're going to get hate, it'll likely happen. Here's Data Racer's tweet about it. All right.
Yeah, we like
so, yeah. Here's his tweet. So Data Racer points out.
Did you open a DM? You opened a DM.
There's a tweet about it.
To find that tweet to get here. You couldn't have even had it in like another tab or something. You opened a fucking DM live. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we like
So
Data Racer.
yeah. Here's his. So Data Racer points out Obi-Wan actress Moses Ingram called Star Wars fans racist before the show even aired. Yeah. Did she call them?
They are, though. They are. Seriously, the amount of people that like got mad at Finn and Poe being main characters and like Rose being a character at all in the Star Wars new sequels, people got mad because of the race of the characters. They were like, "Oh my God, look at the why do we have to have all the characters be minorities in my Star Wars?" Real conversations had by real people. Like, that's a thing that happened. Again, Sonic the Hedgehog discourse. I dare you. Go onto Twitter right now and say Knuckles is black-coded, and people will freak the fuck out at you.
Racist or all right, let's look at the all right. Lucasfilm warned her. If you're gonna talk droids and aliens but no people of color, it doesn't make any sense.
Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, we loved Lando, and we like John Boyega too.
John Boyega.
After John Boyega and Kelly Marie Tran received. Actually, no, I did a video on the Kelly Marie Tran thing. I've never found one thing on any post. There's no record of it. There's no screenshots of it. Speaking of screenshots of it, we have people like Data Racer here who screenshot their Instagrams for posterity because nobody has any proof that Kelly Marie Tran ever had anything negative said to her. And her own article on the in the New York
Wait, nobody has any proof that the actor behind Rose had any negative stuff happen to her? Are you certain about that? Are you certain about that? Hold on. Star Wars. Is it? I'm sure the actress had plenty of proofs. Let's see here. Let's see. Do. I find it hard to believe. I find it hard to believe that in a polarized world that we're in right now, not one person actually said anything racist to her. That feels like almost impossible to believe. Moreover, everybody understands that like people can send shit into people's DMs, right? The argument that like, oh, she never experienced racism, doesn't that kind of go out the window when you remember that DMs exist? Can we talk about the wasted potential of Captain Phasma? No, we can't. So the right wing always accused the left wing of making up the harassment. Are they really that clueless about their own side? Apparently. Again, this feels like an Occam's razor thing. We know that racists exist. The world is not devoid of racists. We know that anti-Asian racism exists. I mean, literally, a lot of that got brought up again during COVID. The idea that a person never experienced any hate because somebody dug through all their comments and said, aha, nobody said anything public to you. Okay, cool. Did you scour their DMs? Did you do that? Why not? Because I hated Captain Phasma. But here's the thing. I was never given a reason to like Captain Phasma. I was given no reason to care about her. But that was confusing. So can we dig up their embarrassing shit and expose them for once? How come they get to dig up things that 8 to 12 years ago? I have no idea. So what I can say is, from what I'm looking, it does seem difficult to actually find the posts where people are being racist against her, but that does not automatically disprove the idea that people were racist to her on social media, because, again, DMs exist. People pop into DMs all the time. People send me DMs telling me that I'm a horrible person, or emails saying that I deserve to die. Like, that's shit that I get, and I'm a small fucking creator. So, an argument can be made that, oh, maybe she should have had thicker skin, but an argument can't be made that she literally never experienced it. Again, Occam's razor is a very useful tool here.
Times. Her own opinion piece, her own op-ed, stated that she received criticism from people like Ryan Johnson and Hollywood directors, casting directors specifically, for being Asian, for being short, for appearing thicker on camera, for not having the body type of people like Daisy Ridley, for example, for not having that statuesque, you know, very, very tall, slim body type. Because the camera adds 10 pounds, clearly. I mean, the camera, it's 2D, it makes you look a lot wider and shorter, or whatever, taller, I guess, or whatever. It makes you look weird, basically. So there's not even a single record of that. Data Racer points out, same thing here. For the record, her less than 500 or more than 500 Instagram replies don't have a single negative comment. It's all relentless praise. All right, so she says, okay, here's her words. It's Winnie Melissa, the first thing I've seen in the galaxy. To me, it's long overdue. You're talking droids and aliens, but no people of color. It doesn't make any sense. It's 2022, you know. All right, as far as I can attest, Star Wars fandom has a racist problem tucked into its ugliest corners. It literally doesn't. It literally doesn't.
It literally does. You can find it if you look. It's not difficult. Just out of curiosity, chat, have any of you had a conversation with a racist Star Wars fan? Someone who didn't like there being, oh, I don't know, the conversation that I had back in the day, which was people saying that it's unrealistic or it's bad that all the characters that are the main characters of the sequel trilogy are not just like straight white guys. It's a girl, a black guy, and a Hispanic dude. They're like, oh my god, it's all minorities. Diversity, woke, blah, 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 blah. So you've had plenty in the SWTOR MMO? So do people in SWTOR general chat count? Yes. If you play SWTOR over like Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft, my belief is that you are doing it because you're a Star Wars fan, not because of the quality of the MMO.
The only people who are racist in Star Wars are Disney themselves, who shrink people of color, quote unquote, on their posters to pander to China.
Is that really pandering to China? Do you think they care? Is that pandering to China? What? How is that pandering to China? Like, don't get me wrong, it's a little weird that he is smaller in the poster, but does that... It just looks like it's a different composition for the image. That... Honey, are you okay? It is. It's way too warm. I'm sorry. I'm just curious because, like, I'm recording and I just keep on hearing. Meow, meow.
Yeah, because this bitch won't shut the fuck up. She's following me around, tripping me up, and she...
Oh my god.
So I'm mocking her in an attempt to get her to go away. Because I'm tired of stepping on her.
I don't think the cats care if they're mocked. They're cats.
Man, I got chicken tendies in the air fryer. I walked in here and now I'm sweating.
It's way too hot in here.
It's fucking dark! The sun is down! Why is it hotter now than it was at noon?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense! Her sister was a witch, bro!
Moreover, I would say this. If it is a case that... I mean, I am perfectly understandable that it's a case that China is more racist than the United States. Potentially. But if that is going to be the claim, that it's not Disney being racism, it's Disney responding to China's racism, adapting because capitalism cares about markets. But okay.
And the people who use them at Lucasfilm as shields, as human shields, a literal Operation Darky from South Park to critic-proof their little butthurt feelings in their story groups.
Operation Get Behind the Dark.
Yeah, get behind the darkies.
You are Operation Get Behind the Darky.
Yes, and that's what they do with these people. These poor.
Did you really just say Operation Get Behind the Darkies? Wait, do you think that having a single black character is going to be the thing that makes Lucasfilm go, oh, no, we're hiding behind the black character? Oh, my God. I feel like maybe stepping out into the real world, spending some time in reality for just a little bit, would probably be helpful here.
Actors. I am sick of it. They're probably sick of it. People in my chat are sick of it.
They're giving themselves cover.
They're giving themselves cover for when this show gets. This sucks. This is going to be terrible.
Is that really the case? Are they really giving themselves cover for when the show sucks? I don't see that.
I'm not going to say like this is not a good sign.
This is not a good sign. We've seen this time and time again. They're priming the pumps.
They're getting out in front.
Getting it in people's heads that, oh, all these are racist Star Wars fans. Oh, these are racist Star Wars fans. And they've had article after article after article.
Okay, look. Every community that is sufficiently large, every community has a subsection of it that is terrible in some way, shape, or form. Typically, racism and misogyny these are the things that typify those things. It exists in every fandom. Resident Evil fandoms angry about Sheva being black in Resident Evil. That was a thing. Sonic the Hedgehog fandoms being angry if you say that, hey, there's aspects of Knuckles that are black-coded, despite him literally wearing Rastafarian colors. This is an every large community thing. Every large community has this problem. And the Star Wars community is likely the largest fandom community. The biggest one. Any argument that there is not a vocal subsection of racist Star Wars fans is kinda stupid. And without any actual logical backing.
And keep in mind, there is nothing negative about it. Like, Lucasfilm took an actor like John Boyega, who should have been a Jedi, and they made him a janitor. They made him a janitor. He was nothing. He was a comic relief. He was their, step and fetch it for the series. I'll say it. I don't care anymore. What are they going to do? Cancel me? What are they going to do?
I mean, John Boyega was treated very well in the first and even the second Star Wars movies. The sequel movies. It's Rise of Skywalker where he gets fucked over. Like, Rise of Skywalker is where they stripped all agency from every character and just said, let's have Rey and Kylo hook up. I'm not exactly certain where the issue is there. Like, we understand that when they did the director handoffs for those movies, the third movie was made into a giant shit show. Also, I will die on the hill that Last Jedi is a masterpiece. But okay.
Throw me off of YouTube, and then I can say it twice as much. They made him their step and fetch it for the series instead of a Jedi, and we're the racists? Are you kidding me? I am so sick of this. I am so.
Wait, you can't accept the fact that you could be having comments that would be deemed as racist when Disney fucking up a character happens. Okay. Okay. Sure. Also, why censor yourself? Why? Fuck, shit, ass, tits, wobbly nipples. What else can I say? Crap. Moist.
Sick of them using this as an excuse, and I'm so sick of these lazy, childish, butthurt people going to, you're racist, because they don't have any actual reasonable argument because they're too stupid to know what they're talking about. This has been a rant that works for a while. I'm sorry, I've been a little off my game.
You're ranting about nothing. Literally nothing has happened. Some Star Wars fans are racist, and actors was warned about that.
But I'm just sick of this stuff. I don't want to be angry about this all the time anymore, too. That's why we're doing the new channel. Go ahead over and subscribe to Back to Las Vegas. It's my new channel that I haven't started up yet, that I just announced today, where none of this is going to be negative. No culture war, no Star Wars, no Star Trek. No, well, I mean, I might cover the Star Trek convention there. Maybe. But there's not going to be, it's just going to be fun things that we can do to escape people like Lucasfilm and Disney using us, using our outrage to market their garbage properties that pander to our nostalgia, that grift our...
I'm actually curious here. I found an image. It's a funny image. It's a funny image. Just from end cultural Marxism, J.J. Abrams' political correctness is a code word for anti-white. I'm sick of muds being casted in white parts. It's anti-white propaganda promoting white genocide. Hold on. So there is no racist subsection of the Star Wars community. There is none. None whatsoever. Despite it being very easy to find that type of shit. But okay. And I know that a handful of tweets is not indicative of an entire point. But the argument, this is not a problem for a subsection of the Star Wars community, is basically thrown away when you find that subsection. But let's continue.
Hard-earned dollars, our nostalgia dollars, that steal money from us when they demand
Nobody stole money from you. You chose to buy that product. Shut the fuck up.
we talk about and be outraged and watch. Because I'm going to watch this for free. I'm going to watch it for free. I'm going to watch it for free, and I'm going to riff it, I'm going to make fun of it, and we're going to cut it into funny commercials, just like we did Book of Boba Fett, or Book of Halo Mandalorian, whatever the crap it was. Right? Obi-Wan is going to be the most diverse thing. And so here we go. So they're
Said Obi-Wan's going to be the most diverse thing where it just has a single black character. How is that the most diverse thing? What the fuck are you talking about?
they're playing the race game. But this is all just, yeah, you're on fire, you're great, you're stunning, you're brave, you're amazing, you're beautiful. It's all flames and hearts. They love her.
So that's a single image. Hold on. With what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, what? 11 people per image on average. 1, 2, 10 images. So you got 100, a sample size of 100 people with positive comments to say about a person. And you used that sample size of 100 people to say that, aha, nobody ever was racist. Nobody ever was mean. Nobody ever was a problem to this person. That's your argument. Your argument is this little sample size of people exists, therefore the other people cannot exist. Okay.
They love her, and there's no reason to dislike this. I don't know this woman. She's probably fine. I don't know anything about her. Her name's Moses Ingram. But don't come to me like I have an issue with you when I don't want to see Obi-Wan Kenobi turned into Logan. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see a broken hero trope.
Then just don't fucking watch it. It's that easy.
I don't want to see... I just don't want to see it. Obi-Wan Kenobi was the wise old space monk. Here, go on about how cool Obi-Wan was.
How do you think he became the wise old space monk? How do you think he became the wise old space monk? What events in his life do you think led him to becoming that wise? Is it potentially the fact that he lived through an entire galaxy-wide war, and as soon as he got out of that war and he had the ability to calm down, his life didn't exactly improve? Like, literally nobody's coming to you.
He was a mentor. He was a wise old space monk. He knew he was a guy who'd seen everything. He'd seen war. He'd seen peace. He'd seen the galaxy at its brightest and its darkest. And he'd seen the Jedi rise and not rise, but he saw their fall. He was the old saying, I'm a man of peace. I'm done killing. So Obi-Wan.
Right. None of that says that he can't get broken.
he was the last light of the Jedi before Luke. So to turn him into a failure and a hero, and rather than a hero.
And then
A hero can fail. There's nothing wrong with that. You've obviously never watched any hero stories. Okay, so this is what happens. Random fucking Star Wars fan. Thing happens in show they haven't even watched, and they get mad because something different might happen. This is a show about space wizards with laser swords. Anything can happen. It's fine.
they're going to completely disregard the whole Luke Skywalker thing again. Probably. Oh. So we have these new rumors coming out.
It's not disregarding. They decanonized it already. It's not being disregarded. It would be disregarding those stories if this were the first time we heard that those stories were no longer canon. But those stories were already decanonized a decade ago. They have been disregarded a decade ago. They are not currently disregarding them. The disregarding already happened.
That they're going to set Kathleen Kennedy up to be the great savior of Star Wars or something, just to send Pablo Hidalgo off to be. Is that what's the gist of the latest rumors that I'm so tired of hearing about?
Kathleen Kennedy, they are setting up Pablo Hidalgo to take the fall for Kathleen Kennedy. According to a rumor we've heard, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And
I don't think they're
actively launching this campaign in the Access media to puff up Kathleen Kennedy.
Here's the thing. They don't need to admit it fails because they have this. Like that whole putting somebody to, they're never going to admit failure.
So, by that logic, they don't need to put up a black person as a shield in the first place. Almost as if the thing you're telling them that they did is not a thing they're doing.
She says, as she remembers, yes, they are going to admit failure. Lucasfilm is not going to admit failure. Some of the articles are. Lucasfilm isn't. But
Some of the articles are. So you mean people who aren't Disney or Lucasfilm, people that have nothing to do with Disney or Lucasfilm, might admit failure. So people who don't fucking matter. Do they just believe that this is all like one global ensemble of one hive mind? Is that what happens here?
But you read that article the other day, right? Okay, we're going to segue into that one. Lucasfilm is never going to admit failure. They're never going to fire Pablo Hidalgo publicly. He'll be let go quietly behind the scenes somewhere, if he is, in a completely unceremonious little something, and he'll probably throw a stink about it on Twitter. He's a Lucasfilm story group babysitter or something. I don't even know what he does. He changes their diapers? Something like that. I don't know. And this is where they get all their diversity.
I don't know, which is why I'm talking about it on the internet. I know nothing, and yet here I am.
Dinosaurs and that big whiteboard that said diversity 17 times and space dinosaurs and stuff. You know, all the little children who don't know how to write.
17 times? 17, that's 2. That is 2. I'm glad you can't count. What? Okay. Moreover, these look like they're in different areas. Like this is the way you build a Venn diagram almost. It's kind of perfectly okay for you to have the same ideas on multiple columns in a brainstorm session like this.
Who now are in charge of writing Star Wars, right? They're never going to do anything that retcons this. Every single thing is leading to the First Order. Everything is leading to the sequel trilogy because that's under their ownership. There is no reason for them to erase those. There is no reason for them to, seriously, we're still giving them money. There's no reason for them to do...
Warning, this video is getting awfully close to becoming political.
The old school
It's been political the entire time, but okay.
Star Wars fans are going to still sit there and watch it. We're still going to sit there and I'm not going to give them my money, but enough of us are going to give them their money that they're going to make some money off of it. We're still buying toys. We're still buying figures, some of us. I think my last one was the Baby Yoda, to be honest, that big Baby Yoda. But, some of us still are buying stuff. And if these shows are halfway decent or halfway acceptable, they're going to still keep making them because we're still talking about them. We're still making them. We're still giving it enough attention. This is a culture war thing now. So you're going to get the wokier than nows jumping in and watching this anyway just to spite you.
What?
Just to spite you.
People watching a show to spite you? How does that even make any sense? How does that make any sense? Oh, yeah, no. Fuck these conservatives. I'm going to watch Star Wars. Who does that? Who does that?
So that's where the comparison is. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, hopefully I explained that well enough in my state. I'm Mecha, and now we're going to talk about the only people who are going to admit this is a failure. Don't you go anywhere. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye. But she has a follow-up to that video. I'm actually curious what she says in the follow-up. Because that felt like a train wreck. It was the major thesis, the major point seemed to be Star Wars thing might fail, so they're hiding behind black people, which doesn't seem to be the case. Doesn't seem to be the case. But okay, Mecha, let's see what your response was to this.
Oh no, I am being canceled again. Whatever shall I do? I am Becca. It is Memorial Day weekend. I am busy packing as much as I can. No makeup. Memorial Day. Sorry. Not on a canceled Mecha video. It's just, I'm getting tired of it. So I guess the NPCs and Disney's bots are going on my butt for the South Park video. No, it's the Obi-Wan video where I call out the bots for the new chick who's in the thing because they used her as a human shield or something.
You don't even know what you said in your own video? Nobody's using her as a human shield. But okay.
It gets so tiresome, doesn't it? So here we go. Boop. Oh, the South Park reference used a slur. Oh, fuck off. I'm so tired of it. No.
Don't you like how in her recommended there's the quartering? Gee, I wonder what kind of content somebody must consume to get Jeremy in their recommended.
I'm not going to care at this point. I'm not going to care. I didn't say the N-word. I'm not going to apologize for a bunch of triggerati and a bunch of freaking NPCs. Oh, I've been seeing them flooding my inbox. Now, one of the things about me that you guys might not know.
Flooding your inbox? Oh boy howdy, almost as if a point that you made in your last video can actually be completely disregarded when you understand that an inbox exists. This person never experienced any racism. Oh boy howdy, I wonder what a DM is.
No, is that I only see people who follow me in my notifications. So I'm seeing a bunch of responses to a bunch of people trying to cancel me. And I'm like, oh god, I gotta deal with like canceling my utility.
You only see people who follow you in your notifications? That feels like a really quick way to make an echo chamber. Just my personal take, that feels like a very easy way to only ever have an echo chamber.
He's coming up with deposits, paying for gas all the way out to my new place. If you guys want to support the new channel to be free of this ring NPC mob culture, check out my new channel. Let me pull it up. Back to .lsd.
Or you could just not plug your shit. I'll plug mine. DLG Playground. Woo.
No, LDS. Las Vegas. That's where I'm headed. I'm going back to Las Vegas. Where am my channel? Oh, did they silence it? Well, if they silenced it, then this channel will probably just have to be flipped over to it. Where the crap did it go? So you can see over here that there's a lot of people really, really triggered by this video while I look for my new channel. Where's my new channel? Oh, how? There you go. Here's the new channel. Subscribe to that where we're not going to be talking about any culture. We're just going to be talking about fun stuff. Like travel. Not where I have to talk about, calling out people for not watching a video and not understanding.
Is your response to people, quote, canceling you just to plug another channel? Is that all this is? This is 4 minutes long.
And what Disney's doing. So for the slow people who are triggered by this, like this Casey, whatever the crap. For
the slow people? Oh boy. Let's just find other ways to avoid using, slurs. Okay, sure. You could say idiots. You could say people who are stupid. You could say things that don't talk about innate characteristics, but let's just, have the ableism. It's fine.
In the back, not my regular viewers. You guys are awesome. But for the slow ones like this one here.
You're, I don't want to touch that. Comment with a 10-foot pole.
When Disney decides to use their marketing, well, you guys know this, use their marketing and stuff to exploit actors of certain gender, ethnicity, whatever the case may be, and the motorcycle agrees with me. That is definitely using diversity as a human shield. They're using it to hide behind criticism so that they can create a bunch of bot marketing accounts about racism and istophobia, and then they play this fake narrative, just like they did with Rose Tico, how, people are after this actress because they're just istophobes. So I guess I'm supposed to care about being canceled or something. Poor me. If anybody wants to help support my cancellation, I have Streamlabs and stuff that really, really helps. I'm going to be needing gas money. I'm going to be needing, like the deposits are paid for, but I got a lot of stuff I got to buy once I'm there, like, groceries, things and deposits for utilities and all that stuff. So,
or don't do that. Is this so? Response to people cancel. This is what I'm going to do then. Okay, if I ever get canceled again on Twitter, if that happens to me again, then I'll just beg for money. That's what I'll do. Don't get me wrong. I do a ton of that already. Random stuff breaks all the time. I thought there'd be something substantive here. It's literally just an advertisement. First thing I see in the comment section here. So her take is, I was racist and people holding me accountable for that. So now I'm going to beg for gas money and grocery money. Oh no, the consequences of our own action. They're not bots. They're people who think you're a ridiculous and racist woman who should be held accountable. Stop hiding behind the idea that everybody giving you criticism are NPCs and bots. You know, again, this feels like the behavior that somebody engages in when they have an echo chamber built around them, and when somebody comes in and says something against her, they must be a bot, they must be an NPC, they must be some kind of other. As opposed to, hey, this person might legitimately have a good point. I get comments from people all the time that I think are fucking stupid, but it doesn't stop them from being part of my community. They're like, okay, I'll say this right now. There are people like Arcade Soviet and Defending the Straw Man who I think are fucking dumb in my community. And they comment all the time in a way that makes me feel like they have no ability to actually engage in reading comprehension. But they still comment. They're still there. They're still part of my community, despite them being functionally trolls in my community. But regardless, I'm not going to respond to anybody and just say, aha, you're a bot. Aha, you're a troll. I'm still going to engage to a certain extent. So take pride in your stupid commentary. Jeebus. Oh, my God. Sienna says, oh, I understand now. She's trying to twist the world to maintain her own ego. She's backing Team Conservative, and she's trying to tell herself that her hateful behavior is not real. Otherwise, she'd have to deal with her own short-sightedness. Yep. But with that said, this seemed to be a giant nothing video. Somehow magically, we managed a nothing video for 55 minutes. I have to apologize to Cherry for that. Anyway, oh fuck, Altered Rin, thank you for the raid. How was your stream? With that said, though, as everybody, if you enjoyed this video for what it's worth, leave a like, subscribe, all that other fun stuff, and insert end of video tagline here.